So, in Star Wars, there's specific sects of dark side users, and I'm going to be here to differentiate them and also explain them to you guys. But let's first start with the two most notable ones. The very first one are going to be Sith Lords. Now, you may be asking yourself, are dark side users and Sith Lords the exact same thing? But no, they are not. Sith follow a strict religion, practices, and backgrounds, such as following the rule of two. This is why Palpatine was so adamant about destroying Darth Maul when he had already moved on from him as his apprentice. You see, Darth Maul knew everything about the Sith. He truly did. He was the first apprentice of Palpatine and he was perceived as dead. But Palpatine understood that Maul would eventually come after him and also try to usurp some of his power. So Palpatine understood that he had to take out Maul. Now, with Count Dooku being Palpatine's new apprentice, he understood that there could not be two Sith in a galaxy at once, and this is a strict code that the Sith follow. As I said earlier, the Sith believe in the Force as well, but they only trust in the dark side of the Force. This is part of their own religion. So in terms, you could be a dark side user, but if you don't subscribe to their religion, their philosophy, and their ways of living and their outlook of thinking on the galaxy, then you are not necessarily a Sith, but nothing more than a dark side user. Now, the Inquisitors are something that you would consider a dark side user. This is due to the fact that they focus deeply on the dark side of the Force, and they were more so a tool that the Empire used, or the two Sith used in this case, to hunt down Jedi and spread the influence of the Empire across the galaxy. But overall, they used the dark side of the Force in order to get what they wanted and win battles. Same thing with Grievous, he falls under this same umbrella. Although Grievous was not necessarily could use the Force, he used the dark side of the Force by using fear in order to intimidate Jedi in order to beat them in battle. We also have other examples of dark Jedi that were also used, and that is Shin Hati and Baylan Skoll. These two are probably the perfect example in recent Star Wars that we could use as a tracker to see dark Jedi in action. They fully subscribe to understanding the Force, but they only use the dark side of the Force to get what they needed to get done. They didn't fear the dark side of the Force, nor did they necessarily walk in the light anymore. They just wanted to walk in between. Hence why their saber color is orange and not necessarily red or not necessarily a lighter color. Now, the last but also probably the most obscure one are going to be the Night Sisters of Dathomir, because they didn't necessarily use the Force whatsoever. But what they did use was magic that was so dark that it was rooted within the dark side of the Force. But they didn't necessarily use the Force itself, just the magic from it. And this dark side magic granted them abilities that were not necessarily natural even for dark side users. This is also why Palpatine feared them a little bit more than usual, because he didn't necessarily understand the Night Sister magic, but he also knew it was rooted in the dark side of the Force. So towards the end of the Clone Wars, he had the Night Sisters dealt with by wiping out every last one of them that were on Dathomir. He had the Separatists and General Grievous invade them completely randomly, and he got his wish of destroying the Night Sisters, mainly because he didn't trust them, he couldn't trust them, and he also fully didn't understand them. He also saw them as a threat to his empire. But anyway, that's all I got for this video. Let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching this video all the way through. Please like and subscribe. May the Force be with you, and always have a great rest of your day.